Welcome to Alchemy Kitchen. What are we doing here today? We're making some fun stuff. We're gonna eat. We're gathering. We're transforming.
Yes, gather, eat, transform. This is going to
I said
be
it out of order.
A new offering within Forge and Flow in general. And this is our very first episode, so that's
bear
exciting.
With us.
And the thought process here is that we're remembering that food equals frequency.
What does that mean?
This means that anything that we take into our body vibrationally, from a food source of any kind, even things that we're drinking, is acting with our body in some way inside, but also it affects our energy in general. That's not just do we have energy, but that is connected to it, but also the subtle bodies, energetic bodies that surround us.
The life force energy.
And around
right?
all things.
That thing inside us that makes us alive. The life force energy.
Yeah.
So the food can help kind of find its way within all of that and activate more systems within us when we have this really high vibrational, delicious, nutritious, and organic food.
Yeah, and even more so, you get into regenerative. We'll talk about more and more practices for soil, as well as biodynamic, which is another whole layer, which we're going to talk about very, very briefly. But our thought process is working with 3 pillars. We can all liberate our inner splendor when we eat with purpose, we move with purpose, and we work with purpose.
This will be the eat one.
Yeah, this is the eating one.
This is the eat with purpose
This
one.
is the Alchemy Kitchen one. And this is our way of offering that wisdom again from our lens and seeing and remembering.
Because let's face it, people love food, right? People love to eat. Eating
and
is
drinking
pleasurable,
good elixir.
but we can make it really high vibrational and still be delicious and fun.
Yeah, that's the weird thing that we've had in our world. I've been there because when I first, a long time ago,
In a galaxy far away.
I was beginning to really realize, wow, this food thing's a little important. And feeling like we're kind of missing something here. And that missing something was that healthy food can be so freaking delicious that we don't have to think about it as I'm the healthy. I have to eat healthy. It's so boring.
You're one of those healthy eaters.
Yeah, that
boring.
is no. We are here to change that tone. Mm-hmm. Sing a new tune. And this goes with our whole thing of Forge and Flow is a sanctum, both online, what we're building, and then we're now here in our land, and it's going to be an in-person offering and this is the remembering that we can share together when we come together to remember this kind of wisdom that our body is like a musical instrument. We can think of it even as a full symphony inside of us as well. And when we're healthy, when we're feeling so good, when we have that vital force moving through us, even on bad days, we're moving through things in a different way. And that means that all the strings are in tune. Now then we add the stress, we add anxiety from this modern way of living. And then we have the environmental stressors on top of everything. So while we can't control what's out there, we can control what's happening within our symphony, within our instrument. And so our job and our feeling is to help others really remember what it feels like to be in tune versus out of tune, because all those stressors, all that anxiety, all those things take the instrument, take the symphony out of tune.
Yeah.
So that is what we're doing. We're creating resonance from within once again.
Through food. Today, in the Alchemy Kitchen segment.
Think of it like a class, like stories and sacred food mixed together in one place. And this one that we're doing today is just the beginning.
Yeah. So what are we making today?
Well, this is, okay, talk about eating with purpose. Specific foods really, really, really matter. And when we really know what those foods are, it helps us choose differently on a day-to-day basis. And look, we can only do what we can do. And we look at, so in Ayurvedic, ancient wisdom, the thought process is, okay, you've got to work with this 80-20 kind of rule, meaning 80% of the time you do what you can every day. And 20% of the time we just kind of let it go and have fun. We go do things that normally we wouldn't do.
Yeah. Take away the parameters and the guidelines for 20% of the time. So that way you can feel a little bit more carefree sometimes.
Yeah.
People that get very militant about diet, exercise, anything really, you end up putting more stress on yourself. You're being healthy, but you're adding too much stress on yourself by, I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to eat this way. Oh my God, I can't have that. I can't have that. I can't eat that. That adds anxiety and stress, which is kind of the antithesis of what we're trying to do here. So 20% of the time,
you let go.
Let loose. Just, you're not being super strict on yourself. You're not putting that pressure on yourself. And that's going to help regulate your nervous system.
It does. You know, I've been there too. And you've seen that happen to me. And he was like, man, you look really stressed, even though you're trying to be incredibly good to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And
here's a cookie.
And, you know, it took a while for me to get to the place of like, you know what? Yeah. Mm-hmm. That is a more sacred way to honor thyself. Be true to thyself is to remember that we live in this world. And while this world is completely difficult on most days, and there's a dissonance within a lot of what's out there available to us via the food, the water, the air. But again, what can we control? And then when can we let go of that said control and just have fun and just let loose? Now, you will get to the state, like most of us, where that fun letting go 20% looks nothing like maybe it used to, or that there will be many things that your body's just like, no. Mm-hmm. And where you say just no.
Doesn't even feel good anymore. Certain oils and certain things that go into your body that used to, once you start cleansing and purifying things, some of those, less healthy food, fast food, packaged food, processed food stuff doesn't even feel good because we're changing the frequency and vibration within our body as we cleanse and purify through that higher frequency food.
So this is why the food component, the water component, is going to be something that we are talking about constantly.
So what's the food?
Yeah, the food today. Okay, so we found...
What's the food?
Okay, figgy pudding.
Figgy pudding. There it is.
Yeah, this is a very...
Figgy pudding.
Ancient...
It's actually more of a cake.
Yes.
Yeah.
The word
they call it
pudding, because it's really moist. And
It's pudding-y.
Yeah.
Cake.
This comes from
Pudding-ish.
ancient British practices, but pre the word British even. So... And this goes into, and we're going to traverse some of those because, again, this is also a class and also story. So
I'm just here for the food. I know.
I'll be anchoring in some of that, and we're going to be mixing this all together with you today. That is a beautiful vibration that Mark brings in, is this physicality of like the cooking aspect, and it's fun to do this together, cooking together, making elixirs together, and just remembering, and elixir, by the way, means not with alcohol. An elixir meaning something you take in through drink, through that kind of...
liquid?
Yes, thank you. This pillar of Eat with Purpose, this is a sweet dish because we're using figs and dates. It's a really nice dessert that doesn't just have to be made for special occasions. Honestly, it can be made at any time in the year because figs and dates are seen as fruits, but fig really isn't a fruit like a date would be considered. But this is a vibrational nourishment dessert that we're going to be doing. Even though it does have sugar, there are easier, more fun ways to think about what kind of sugar you take in. So we're going to talk about that. Also, we're going to add a little fun brandy for a little warming.
Brandy! Oh, brandy!
What movie is that from?
Leave it in comments. It's an old one.
Yeah, it is. We're going to talk about this a little bit as well because there's a certain kind of high vibrational, tiny little bit of brandy that you can take in that warms the body. Okay, like I said, figs are like a secret orchard within it. So these aren't just seeds.
These are world.
Yeah, these are individual flowers. That is magical. It's flowers that bloom inside the darkness of this said fig. And so,
kind of say that that's how most seeds work, right?
Yes.
It's kind of like the potential life force energy within
Yes.
a seed that needs certain circumstances and surroundings and environment conditions to burst out in order to turn into said plant or animal coming out of an egg. Same kind of process.
Yeah.
But with this one, it's kind of, you can really see it very viscerally and very vividly inside when you cut it open.
It's beautiful. So it's an inflorescence, or we could even say a syconium. These are some words that can clusters of flowers that grow internally. This is why it's like that secret orchard. And so the flowers bloom inside this chamber. What we see as seeds are those little tiny blossoms, a temple of flowers, if we will, that bloom in that darkness, bloom and pollinated inside of that darkness, inside of that stillness, like Mark was just saying, so hidden from the sun. So we could even say that that's a great way to look at our bodies even. Like think of how a baby is born and how it's pollinated, right? So unlike most fruits that bear the seeds outwardly, what we're seeing is a fig that holds seeds all from within. And so, again, it's not that technical fruit like in that traditional sense. What we can also vibrationally look at a fig is it's holding seeds of memory. Much like how our voice, before we even come into this world, before we even speak our first words, we're holding this vibration of speaking through our voice that is even holding ancestral memory. So getting really before even we're brought to life. So encoded with this ancient memory. Fig is like a seed vessel, and it's a chamber of frequencies. And it's in alignment with the throat center in that way, because we can think about that as the seeding of even the womb in females, the solar plexus in all humans, male or female, and connecting into that energy of what that really means, of the will that you bring through when you speak. Your will comes through, and spoken is truth when we think about it in that kind of resonance. Figs are also connected to the pineal gland, interestingly so. And thinking about this inner chamber of organs where it's a frequency of reception and also generation. So reception, pineal, generation, outwards through voice and tone. Now, this is why the fig, and we're going to go through a little bit of ancient memory on this, an ancient story about figs, but it corresponds to the throat energy center, chakra. Make sure we say it all the ways, because we've had some comments like, I can't get past you saying chakra. Okay, chakra.
Karate chakra.
But actually, it's a stargate. So, stargate of truth, of expression, memory through tone, sound, right? Again, we're thinking of the womb space that it relates to, a fig relates to, the seed of the voice before the baby is even formed. And it goes for other beings that are birthed. The pineal and the eye bridge, receiving and transmitting vibrational sound as light. So we can think of a fig as creating a bridge to nourish the voice. It helps tune the resonance of remembrance through your actual vocal frequency. So from an ancient cultural memory perspective, when you dig in on some of these things, and this is what we want to share in these classes as well, is that in ancient traditions, figs have been eaten by those that have been called quote-unquote healers, or the shamans, or there's a lot of words, right? Oracles, seers, monks, etc. Eaten before really vital prayer ceremony, deep reverent ceremony with earth, for example. And you can see this in stories. So there's a story of Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree, but that's often confused with the fig tree. So it's linked to illumination and transmission. And the sacred fig is the Ficus religiosus, if you really want to say what the fig is called.
5 times fast.
Yeah, Ficus religiosus. That's what the fig is. So in ancient Egypt, the figs were buried with the dead. And that was a symbol of remembrance and return. So the soul's voice echoing back to source. So that's why there was this connection of the fig to the voice, fig to memory, seeds of memory, and why in ancient Egypt they were buried with the dead as through this symbology. In India, the fig is very sacred as well. And it's said to emit subtle fields that stabilize the pineal vision and then dissolves the fear of truth. When you go into ancient Greece, in that region, figs were also sacred. So there's a lot of stories connected to Demeter, the earth mother, as fruits of hidden nourishment and soul fertility. And then we can wander into the Druids, the monks, and the seers, figs always being part of voice opening rites. So eating them before speaking or singing in ceremonies. So there's a lot of beauty of the fig being tied into the ancient cultures as symbology and as and being sacred. So we're eating something very sacred when we eat a fig. Also, if we want to talk about some biological and nutritional aspects, figs are really rich in potassium and magnesium. Oh my God, do we need a lot of that?
Oh yeah.
These are minerals that stabilize our bodies and also is connected into the vocal nerves. Very rich in calcium as well. So very connected into bone, right? And polyphenols as well. So protecting delicate mucous membranes in our body, which are even in our throat, and enhancing the purity of sound as well. So that's why it was used in those ancient rites, ceremony, prayer as well.
So this is a healthy pudding.
This is a very healthy pudding. It's a very fun pudding, especially when you really bring really organic, high vibrational ingredients into it.
All right, so let's talk about the ingredients now.
I'm going to eat some fig roll.
As you eat some of the ingredients.
Yum,
That's
yum.
okay. You can eat the ingredients as long as it's not chewing on an egg. We don't want to.
The fig. It's a real. I mean, they're good.
It's figgy.
Very figgy.
So we're baking. We're not cooking. We're baking today. It's going to be put in a bunt style pan.
Which we had to buy especially because we did not have that.
It's kind of like a hat. Not butt style, bunt style.
Bunt.
That's a different shape. And we're gonna bake in this. And so since we're baking, we're using your traditional baking ingredients, your flour, your sugars, eggs, butter, all that stuff. And you're doing it in the typical way of doing dry ingredients together and wet ingredients together, and then you mix the two, and then you pop it in the oven. Fairly easy. We did do a step ahead of time because you do need to let it sit, and that was actually boiling the figs and the dates in some water. Put it on the stove, boil it, and for about 5 minutes, and then you have to let it sit for about 20 minutes. And then add a little bit of baking soda, just a teaspoon, not a tablespoon. I did that last time.
It actually tasted
It was fine,
okay.
but I would say use a teaspoon.
There's a reason.
And it helps fizz it up, and that's going to help with the consistency later on. So we did that part already, and now we have to do the rest. So, like I said, traditional baking ingredients of flour and sugar, but here in Alchemy Kitchen, we are not using your regular flour and your regular sugar.
We're not using anything
We're using
regular.
nothing regular.
Not unregular.
Unregular. Maybe regular baking powder. I don't know. Not even that's organic. But
Yeah.
anyway, sugar.
Yeah.
We got sugar. Now, there's a lot of different kinds of sugar you can use in the world, and we are sticking with cane sugar. It's very granulated. It is not refined. Refined sugar is something we stay away from. That very powdery, very light, fluffy white sugar.
And really ultra processed.
Ultra
even
processed.
Bleached, potentially.
Sometimes it's bleached, but it's just highly evaporated. At the very best, it's highly evaporated. So there's really no nutritional value at all in that. And because it's going through these high processes, there's even potential chemicals that are exposed to it too. So we're going with organic cane sugar. Now the cane sugar that we're using is still evaporated to some degree, but it has a little bit more of a golden color to it. There's obviously brown sugar, and then you go up into molasses, and that's like that's basically the sap from the cane. And then as you evaporate it and dry it and go through that process, you get different kinds of sugar. Kind of between molasses, which is more liquidy, and the cane sugar, you can find turbinado sugar, which we have here as well. We're not using that in this recipe, but we're going to talk about it for a moment. And it's just less evaporated. It still has a lot of that golden brown color to it. It's not quite brown sugar, but it still holds a lot of that moistness, and all of those sugar crystals that are inherent to the sugar cane are still in that.
So it's a little more, it's a little
richer.
Much of a bigger crystal.
It's a bigger crystal, and it's richer.
Yeah.
And they use turbines, like a kind of turbine engine to help with the process, which is why it's called turbinado sugar.
And this brand we're mentioning specifically because this sugar helps restore the soil because it's regeneratively created and organic certified. And what that really means is, that's the other thing about these, and which Mark will talk deeply about the flour, because there's a reason you fall in love with certain things.
I'm a flower child. Different kind of flower.
Regenerative means that the soil has been regenerated completely, and it holds no agricultural chemicals or anything that
even heavy
hurts.
Machinery.
Yeah.
A lot of these big agricultural farms use humongous machines. Even if they're organic, they're using heavy machinery tilling the soil, which any farmer out there would say is a good thing. But when you really look into it, you're breaking up the soil to such a violent degree that you're really stripping it out
of
the minerals and the nutrients in the soil.
And animals.
That will not then uptake into the crops or the plants that are grown from the soil. So regenerative is much softer on the earth. It's less invasive, less violent, and destructive to the actual earth, the soil itself. So it keeps that biome intact with all that beneficial stuff in the soil that helps grow through the roots into the plant, which gives it the nutrients that it needs for us then to get the nutrients we need when we consume it.
Yeah. So when I work with one-to-one with clients, but we're going to be talking about this a lot just in general, minerals that we need in our bodies, like the magnesium and the potassium and the calcium, of which are in figs, for example. See, it depends on where this fig is grown to be able to hold that. to be able to hold those minerals, right? If the soil doesn't have it,
the plant ain't got it.
Then the animal doesn't have it, and then so you can just go, you just keep going like this, right? Ecosystem, ingredients matter.
So when you're talking about flour, that's a whole other ball game we're dealing with here.
Now there's a time like I couldn't even eat bread at all. Because we didn't know about this flour yet.
And this flour is called einkorn flour. I'll put it up on the screen for you. Einkorn. And it is very unique. It sounds like a German word, but it's highly cultivated in Italian regions. And it's imported here. And you can buy it in most stores these days. For a while, it was only in health food stores, but even in regular supermarkets, I'm seeing it now.
Which is amazing.
And it's about $9-10 for 2 pounds, so not terribly expensive, but it's worth the investment because it is so game-changing. Now, gluten-free, that's a phrase that did not even exist 30 years ago, maybe not even 20 years ago, maybe sort of 20 years ago. And now everybody knows it. Now people are like, well, I guess I just have to be gluten-free now. I can't eat the bread I used to eat because my body can't process it. And people think it's an allergy that they developed. But really what's happening is the body is unable to process modern cultivated wheat. What the modern agricultural system does is profits over people, that model that works so well for them, but not so well for us.
Or
what they're trying to do is grow crops more quickly. So shorter crops, fatter crops that grow more quickly for higher yields and faster cultivation, faster processing, faster selling, higher profit. What it should be doing is growing naturally, and taller, skinnier, more tightly woven, braided wheat. And here's an example of what they look like, modern and ancient. And they keep it intact in these Italian regions of this ancient form, untouched and unhybridized.
Sacred.
Unhybridized. So they're also making hybrid versions, which is not always the worst thing in the world, but because it does happen in nature, hybridization through pollination and stuff does happen. But when you're using it for purposes of profit, you're going to take shortcuts and you're going to potentially add additives in there and just adulterate the beauty of the crop that once was ancient and beautiful and very resonant with our bodies. So the einkorn is holding all of those qualities of the ancient crop. And that's what we use. It's flour. People say, well, how do you bake with it? It's flour. It's nothing different. It's just untainted. It's still flour. It's a 1-to-1 ratio of any kind of baking flour you would get, but you're getting more nutrients in it. And because it doesn't have the higher gluten content of these bigger, fatter crops, the body can actually process it. So all you gluten-free folks out there that need to use rice flour or coconut flour or almond flour or all of these alternative flours,
psyllium husk.
I would suggest trying to purchase a little bag of einkorn flour, make some pancakes or make some bread, whatever you want to bake, cookies, and see how it goes. I could almost promise you that you will not feel bad when you eat that, when you eat those things.
Now, it does depend on the state of your overall gut health. See, that is another thing with having to be gluten-free. Usually it's because our gut health went down the tube. So that's a whole other video. But
yeah, so it's organic.
It's a bigger picture
There's
too.
No pesticides that's going to, potentially hurt your gut health. And in fact, it's got the beneficial nutrients in there that could potentially help the gut microbiome, but it most likely will not feel bad. You'll eat whatever baked good it is and won't feel that bloated feeling
or
that you
really
might
sick
or
feeling.
Sick. Now there are levels, there are severities. There is celiacs, which people are very severely sensitive to these things. So listen to your body. Yourself more than we do, but just want to educate a little bit about this type of flour because it is coming a little bit more onto the marketplace. I hope more stores see it in bigger numbers. It's kind of a little tucked in or like on the bottom shelf somewhere. Sometimes you got to look for it. It's amazing. It's the only flour we keep in this house. It's the only flour we use, whether we're baking or making a sauce or whatever we're using flour for. And it is just a beautiful, beautiful ingredient to use.
It is. It really is.
And so another ingredient we have here is brown sugar. We're going to be adding some brown sugar in. That's the only sugar we're adding in. We're not using regular cane sugar directly. We are using the brown sugar, but the brown sugar is homemade. We made this sugar right here. Very easy to do. It takes two things. It takes the cane sugar and molasses. And you just mix up. I did 3/4 of a cup of sugar and a tablespoon of molasses. You mix it up nice and good, and it fluffs up, and you get about a cup of dark brown sugar. If you need light brown sugar, you use a little bit less. If you need dark brown sugar, use a little bit more of the molasses. But it's a great way,
really good for you too.
Instead of buying brown sugar that gets like all hard and weird if you don't use it in a timely fashion and may not have good ingredients in it either. You can get your good cane sugar. You can get a really good molasses. And the molasses lasts like forever. It doesn't go bad ever. And you mix it back up and you get this beautiful brown sugar. course, when we bake, we have to use baking powder or baking soda, depending on what you're making and the alkalinity or acidity of the other ingredients. We're just using baking powder in this recipe. And of course, we're using organic baking powder. We also have cinnamon, which cinnamon is a beautiful herb, and it's
very warm
Indian
to the body.
In nature, Sri Lankan sometimes. There's different kinds of, there's Ceylon and there's cassia, different kinds of cinnamons. But it's a beautiful warming herb that's going to elevate the flavor profile of this. We, of course, have butter. You always need butter in baking. Now we use grass-fed butter. This is Irish butter. It's unsalted and it's from Ireland and it's grass-fed, meaning the butter ate grass on its way over here. No, that's not what it means. It means the cows ate grass. And what does grass-fed really mean, Natalie?
Grass-fed means that the beauty of the sunlit grass is being taken in by the beautiful cows, and then the cows produce the beautiful dairy products, and then we get the benefit of that sunlit grass without having to go out there and graze ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's
the more poetic way of saying it.
That's the honoring that we, that is the sacred cow and the sacred human relationship. In fact, that is why cows were always held as very sacred in India, for example, and still are to this day in many regions.
And so grass-fed is amazing because that's what cows naturally eat.
Yeah.
They graze in the grass.
Yeah.
But again, in modern agriculture, blah, 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 there's other things fed to the cows that are not in alignment with their natural diet, which in turn makes their body and their system not produce the proper nutrients and minerals that they need, which then in turn makes them not produce the dairy products that are supposed to be produced.
Now, the best thing about this is the retinol, the vitamin A. That is like the undertone of why our bodies need it so badly.
Yeah. So grass-fed Irish unsalted butter. We have some eggs. Grass-fed? No, they're not grass-fed. They are pasture raised. Now, there are levels of eggs. There's your whatever, no label eggs. Then there's your cage-free eggs. Then there's your free-range eggs. And then there's your pasture-raised eggs. And there's a lot of clever marketing stuff going on here in some degrees. Now, of course, we as animal lovers and supporters of organizations like the Humane League, we don't want to see any animal entrapped in a cage and suffering because, first of all, that's terrible. And second of all, that's going to cause stress, anxiety, fear in the animal. And those hormones that are so heightened in those stressful situations are going to then be produced in the output, the egg. And we don't want that stuff in our food either. But more than that, we can let them out of the cages so they can be happy and free and feel like the chickens that they are supposed to feel like. But sometimes, even in the cage-free world, they only have a little bit of space. Sometimes it's not even on grass, it's on cement. Then you get into free range, which sounds like, wow, great, they're all over the place. And sometimes they only have up to 10 square feet available. That's not really roaming and grazing. Yeah. So that's why we stick to pasture raised, which any pasture raised farm is going to tell you they have at least 108 square feet per hen. Wow. They have acres and acres and acres of free reign to roam around and be their little chicken selves and do their little chicken things and be happy. And then they're going to produce
happy eggs.
Happy eggs.
Actually, the Humane League is a really cool organization to look at. Been involved for a very, very long time with them, volunteering in any capacity that we can. They have awesome resources as well as to where to find really high vibrational stuff.
And you can corroborate all this information through them and everything. And they're doing great work out there. And we love them. And we try to bring some of that knowledge in through us as well.
Exactly.
And the last ingredient that we're going to be using for the cake portion is we're going to put a little bit of brandy in it.
Now, I want to talk about this brandy just for a moment because it's really beautiful brandy. It is the only Demeter certified brandy in the United States, which means it is born of biodynamic growing, which you could say is like even another higher vibration above regenerative, even because it's regenerative, organic, but it's also biodynamic in the sense that it's working with, you could say, cosmic and earth alignments to grow it. So really beautiful. It's a Bar Agricole out of California that does this. And so I use it for all of my herbal remedies and flower essence remedies, alchemical remedies, because you need, if you want high vibrational remedies in your body, it takes the high vibrational aspects to make those things.
That's the ingredients for the cake itself, and then we're going to do a wonderful icing on top.
Yeah,
you need the icing on top.
Mark
right?
found this. And
it's a creamy orange cream cheese frosting. So we're using cream cheese, of course, grass-fed organic cream cheese, and we're using oranges. Organic oranges, some organic orange juice.
And we'll talk about oranges when we get to that part.
We're gonna
I'll tell some stories.
We're gonna mix up a little bit more butter with the cream cheese and the orange. We're gonna orange zest. And then we're going to mix in just a teensy bit amount of milk, which of course we have grass-fed organic milk in our glass container that we get from a local creamery around here. And that is
A2.
called A2 milk, which is full body protein milk through the pasteurization process, thing we can talk about another day. It loses a lot of its nutrient value, the milk, because it's heated at a really super high temperature, really quickly, burn out all the bad stuff, but burn out all the good stuff. And then when it cools down, you have a flavorless, thin, zero nutrient,
good for the body
milk.
Because this doesn't.
Milk does a body good, right? Remember those commercials? Depending on your age. But this milk will do a body good because it is full body protein, has all of those. It's grass fed. It's organic grass, all that wonderful stuff. So delicious.
It is actually.
And we're gonna add a little bit into that icing.
Let's do this.
Let's do this. Okay, a lot of great information there, and now we're going to get to the cooking. Are we ready? Well, I guess we'll call it the baking. Get into the baking.
Yeah.
So we have your typical dry ingredient separate from the wet ingredient situation. So the first thing we're going to do is mix the butter with the brown sugar. And you can use a standing mixer, you can use a hand beater. We're gonna use some good old-fashioned elbow grease. Over here we have the flour. Natalie, show the flour. Good job. Thanks, Savannah.
Anytime.
Now with that, we're gonna mix in the baking powder and the cinnamon. We love cinnamon.
We put in a lot more.
So I did a heaping teaspoon of cinnamon. So once the butter is creamed into the brown sugar, start adding the other wet ingredients. Now we can add our 2 eggs, our pasture-raised eggs. And pro tip here, see how she's opening these eggs? That's not how we want to open the eggs. Because they get really messy and you have the potential to get eggshell bits when you crack it on the side of the bowl like that. A better way is to tap it on a hard surface, your countertop. And then once you get a little bit of a crack in there, you can press through with your thumbs and the yolk and all that stuff will just fall right out. Otherwise, you might be picking bits of eggshell. You got lucky. There was no eggshell in here this time. You want to mix this up good. Okay, let's get the fig and date mixture in that we made ahead of time. Like we said, we did that 5 minutes with 2 cups of water, a cup each of the dates and figs, chopped up and boiled for 5 minutes and then cooled.
For at least 20.
For at least 20. Mix this up good.
And of course, the oven is on 350, awaiting.
The waiting. Yes. And let's toss in a shot of brandy.
You can also grease the bundt pan as well in preparation.
Yeah, we're just going to use a spray avocado oil for that. Ooh, I smell that brandy.
It's just an ounce. It's like, woof.
Powerful. Of course, you can skip that if
you don't have
there's
to.
any. This is our alcohol intake for the year right here.
Yeah, for the year,
Ounce of brandy.
basically.
Okay, we got all of the wet ingredients together. And then we're going to add in the dry ingredients that we mixed in the separate bowl. Now, a good way to do this is just dump it all in. No, I'm kidding. That's not a great way to do it. Batches. We want to do
Fold it.
batches of this. So I have this whole bowl of flour here. I'm not going to dump it in because that'll just make it really difficult. I'm going to probably do 3 batches here. And that way it comes together a little easier. It doesn't go all over the place because it will.
Yeah, that's baking.
That's just how it goes.
Yeah, I don't think there's really ever been a time where I've baked anything and I'm not wearing some of the flour.
It feels like pudding now in that consistency, like any kind of cookie dough consistency, but it is a little bit more wet because there's water added in that boiling process of the figs and the dates. So that's where we get our pudding.
And also it's the style in which it's baked, because when you put it in the oven, as we'll see, you actually put it into a pan of water. So it's kind of boiling the cake
Well, it's adding
and
some
adding
steam.
some moisture to it. So it gets even a little more moisturized in that process too. And it does, it comes out very moist and very good.
Puddingy.
Very puddingy.
Is that a adjective?
Yes.
Puddingy?
Puddingy.
Puddingy.
Or puddingy.
That's where the proof is, right?
Always the proof is there.
It's in pudding. This time we're using 100 proof with the brandy. See what I did there? All right, this is looking pretty good. We're gonna pour this into our bundt style pan. So it's about maybe halfway full, which is good. It's what we want because it needs to rise. I'm just going to clean off the sides a little bit here.
And this other pan where you put the bundt cake in, the water is about halfway up. You can add some more water once you add the pan, just to make sure it's you have a good amount of water like going up the pan. So, and we're just using like a normal
9 by 13 baking dish.
Now for the topping, you can make it and keep it in the fridge for like a half an hour or whatever, waiting for when the it makes it a little thicker before you put it on. Okay.
Throw it in the oven. That's set to 350, and we're going to do that for 1 hour. We will see you then. And we're back. We are doing the icing now. We got the cake in the oven. We're gonna mix up the icing, probably put it in the fridge for like 10 minutes, help firm it up a little bit, make it a little easier to work with. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. It might be okay.
We're gonna get going on this icing though. It's super simple. We're just mixing a few ingredients into the bowl here.
Which is the cream cheese.
We got the cream cheese, which is 8 ounces. I'm gonna plop that in. And we gotta cream it with the butter. So again, a standing mixer would be nice, but we're gonna do it old-fashioned way.
And it's fun and it's different. It's new, you know. I mean, not many of us can say we've made figgy pudding.
You saw it in one of your favorite movies, right? Christmas Carol, something.
Yeah. But there's a lot of, you know, songs even that have figgy pudding mentioned in it. So this is definitely something that, depending on where you're from in this world,
it's a cultural
you may
thing.
or may not have heard of it. Yeah.
British culture, you'd say.
Oh,
that
yeah.
kind of like
People know.
England and Wales
Absolutely.
and Scotland. And
which, you know, came through the lineage in which that I've seen through in Albion, the ancient lands that are England and Belgium and France and Germany and Wales and Scotland and Ireland. That was all known as one bigger region known as Albion. So if you're from anywhere over there, more than likely you've heard of figgy pudding.
All right, we're mixed up here.
So the orange...
I'm gonna zest an orange. While she talks about the orange, I'm gonna zest it with my trusty zester.
Yeah, so the beauty of oranges, not only is it, of course, the beautiful color in which that they are, but
Wait, what came first, the color orange or the fruit orange?
That's a really great question.
Leave it in the comments what you think.
But this is about resonance with the solar plexus region. The orange embeds vibrationally will and vital force. And those two things must be very abundant in our bodies to have clarity to move forward. Because they're sun fruits, they have so much of that solar frequency infused in them. And again, when they're organic and grown in beautiful ways, they carry that resonance into our bodies.
It smells so good right now.
There's nothing, it just wafts over here. Energetically, they really help to digest stuck emotions, confusion, indecisiveness, these kinds of things. And really about helping us translate the solar fire into bioavailable light. So we can think about that gut-brain axis as well, and energizing inner direction. So that's why oranges are so beautiful. But the vapor of the orange peel, in which he is utilizing right now and zesting, if we will.
Zesty.
That essential oil is so vibrant, and it clears the etheric channels in our body that run through our neck and our jaw. This is really connected to this throat aspect again. So in this entire vibrational dessert, you can think of it as having a direct relational impact on the will that you have, the clarity that you carry, and the voice that you speak, in which should always speak truth. Because we have the figs, now the oranges that connect into that same region, meridian-wise, and these are channels that run in our body. And oranges bridge that solar intention, which is that will. Oh,
can you smell that?
Better.
Is this smell-o-vision?
And into spoken reality, which is truth. And so that's why this topping feels really perfect for the figgy pudding.
Look at that, we got all of our zest in there. Just gonna go. Super easy.
Plus, there's nothing more beautiful than orangey colored things, right? Orangey yellow, that citrus.
Mm-hmm. Yum, yum. We're gonna squeeze a little bit of juice in there too. It said, I think, half a teaspoon. No. That's crazy talk.
Whatever comes
talk.
out, yeah.
We want this orangey.
We need some of the sugar too.
Sugar. Now this is calling for a lot more sugar than we are actually going to use.
Yeah,
and it's also calling for confectioner's sugar, which is that powdery sugar. We are again using the more natural cane sugar, but we do want a good consistency here. So we'll see how 2 cups goes to begin with. It's not in the recipe, but I think a little vanilla extract could be good in here.
Dreamsicle?
That's right.
Anybody?
Creamsicle? Dreamsicle. You said dreamsicle?
Dreamsicle.
Creamsicle.
Creamsicle.
She's gonna get some of that vanilla extract. I'm making an executive decision here. Adding an ingredient. Oh yeah, pure organic vanilla extract.
Oh.
You smell that?
It smells amazing.
Plus the vanilla.
Yeah.
You smell that?
Creamsicle. Dreamsicle.
Smell it?
Dreamsicle, I think, is a name of the creamsicle thing from 100 years ago that you could buy at some kind of juicery place.
Juicery?
Yeah, I don't know. This feels like a very long time ago. Like when I was 18, just about 100 years ago.
Sounds dreamy. So that is the cream cheese, the butter, the orange zest, the orange juice. And now we're gonna get some sugar. How much sugar you got there, sugar?
This is 2 cups.
That's 2 cups.
Feels like
That's
lot.
already a lot. I don't think we want to put in twice this amount.
I don't think so.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
It's crazy. That's
Yeah, add half. And
that's
see where
that's
we're at.
1 cup right there.
Now, typically, I'm not a cake person at all, ever.
Yeah, she always steals all the icing off the cake.
But you don't need much icing. You just
I'm
need
left
a tiny
with
little
just
taste.
an icing-free cake when she comes around. The cake is still good.
But this icing looks pretty dang good.
It looks pretty good. Oh,
Oh.
there's our little elf song saying that the cake is ready. All right, let's give it a taste. This already tastes phenomenal, by the way. Even with just 1 cup of sugar. 4 cups of sugar? No, you're crazy. Whoever wrote that recipe, he's crazy. It's our recipe now. Here, see what you think. Do we need some more sugar?
It's done, for sure.
You need some more sugar? Here.
That's good. More sugar? Absolutely not.
One cup.
We'll change this all in the description.
1 cup of sugar.
Yeah, that's all you need.
It's pretty delicious. And that vanilla, it really comes through too, right?
Yeah, it does.
It is pretty dreamsicle-y. I'm down with the dreamsicle.
Yeah. Anyone, let me know if you've heard that word, if you've heard it called that too. And it was like when I was 8, so this is, oh my goodness.
Back in 1902. All right. Wait, you just give me a look. I felt the look. I can feel the look. Okay. This is probably a decent consistency here
Yeah.
for spreading.
I don't think that we'd
I
want
don't
to
think
put
we
it in
need
the
to
fridge, actually.
refrigerate it.
Nope.
That'll harden it up, and
Yeah.
but the cake is hot too, so we may want to let that cool off
Yeah.
for a moment before we put this on, because it'll start melting it more and might
Yeah.
get like gooey and drippy and
Yeah.
messy and gross.
Yeah.
But let's put this little bit of milk in there too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the tiniest amount of milk.
Half a
Half a
teaspoon.
teaspoon.
But why not?
Yeah.
Creams
Did
it
you
up a
tell
little
them
bit
how?
more.
Did you already say that what it
It
called
calls
for?
for 4 cups of confectioner sugar.
No, just all no on that. So yeah,
No, we're not even
1
gonna,
cup of sugar.
We're not even going to put that recipe in there.
No, we're not. But
Put an hour.
just FYI.
It's our. We commandeered the recipe
and made it our own. This is what happens
and made it
to
better.
recipes. But
See,
that's
you don't
cool.
need all that sugar though.
I mean, a little.
There's already a ton of sugar in an orange, right? It's already
And that's the
super
most
sweet.
beautiful natural sugar that our bodies can get. Now, we've been told that sugar in fruits is very bad for our body, but I feel very, very differently after 8 years of research on this topic. So,
Well, there's
anyway.
fiber in these too, and the
Yeah.
fiber helps
it's good
break
food.
down the
Plus,
sugar.
the vibrational aspects of food. Food is frequency. That's what we're really getting to. Yeah, we're good. All right. So we'll be back to slab this on with you when the cake is cooled.
Oh. You turned it on. Okay. This is the icing. And it is yummy.
It's very, very good.
Natalie already ate half of it.
And he ate the other half.
I was about to eat the other
with
half.
one bite, by the way.
Yeah.
That's how that would have worked.
That's how you eat it. So we got our icing, we got our cake. It's really, really moist. And you're not supposed to over bake these, right? That's what, hence the pudding thing, because it's not like a dry cake. It's a very, very wet cake. Yeah. So it might be beneficial to really grease up that pan. Ours got a little stuck, but it's okay. We're covering it with icing.
Last time used ghee for, for the pan. This time used the avocado oil. I would say something like ghee, it would be better.
Yeah, a little more buttery.
Yeah, something that, yeah.
So, yeah, we're just gonna, it might be good to use a piping bag or something like that to spread this on, but we're gonna
try this and see what happens.
We're gonna slap it on. Let's try. Let's see what we get.
Bounce.
You know what? There's something about presentation, of course. I like a good presentation, but
you love a good presentation.
I do.
He's really good at that.
It's gonna taste amazing regardless.
And it's about the love and the high vibrational food frequency that's in the said item. So,
yeah. We'll show you the finished product. I'll work on this. So we'll see you in a bit. Here we go. So smoothed out all that icing. We put some really thin orange slices on top and then sprinkled it with a little bit of grated dried orange peel as well.
Looks great, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so we hope that you enjoyed this process, and if you end up making this in your home, that it turns into a really joyful, high vibrational little dessert you can offer your family, your friends. It's a great little party gathering.
Potluck, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, where's yours?
Oh, I guess I'm gonna have to go make another one now.
Mine. It's my dinner.
I'm gonna eat all of your icing though.
No, it's mine. We'll enjoy it together.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed this and see how yours comes out. And if you want to add something different, you can totally do like a cranberry icing.
That's what we were thinking too. Cranberries are really beautiful and can have a whole sharing on cranberries alone just for the body, vibrational wise.
Yeah. Other fruits probably too would be good, like a blueberry jam kind of thing, or I don't know.
Yeah.
The sky's the limit.
Yeah. But again, everything is intentional. Everything is high vibrational because we are eating with purpose.
That's right.
And if you want to add a little ritual, because, part of making food in ancient times was toning or doing sound, or we could say vibration through our voice when you're doing work or mixing any kind of food, because you're putting that high vibrational joy into the process. And another aspect is the ritual of sitting with something and saying something very intentional before you take it into your body.
Yeah, like blessing it.
Yeah.
With your own blessing.
Yeah, but intentional for the very thing that you're eating, which is even like a layer deeper, isn't it? So for today, before you dive into this food, you can say, I offer this sweet breath to the remembering, and may my voice carry what is good, ancient, and whole. Enjoy!
Lovely.
Yeah. See you in the next Alchemy Kitchen episode.
What's the name of this?
What do we do?